home after a long day, only to feel that gut-wrenching twist in your stomach. The kind that tells you something's horribly wrong in your marriage. Your kids are spilling innocent secrets, your wife's stories don't add up, and deep down, you know betrayal is staring you in the face. But what if, instead of crumbling, you turned the tables and watched the cheater's life crumble instead? This is the story of a man who didn't just get even, he got ultimate revenge. If you've ever felt the sting of infidelity or dreamed of delivering poetic justice to someone who shattered your trust, you're in the right place. Hit that like button if you're ready for a roller coaster of emotions. Subscribe for more jaw-dropping Reddit revenge tales, and let's dive into this one. It's going to leave you cheering by the end. It's the early 2000 seconds, a time when AOL emails were the height of digital communication and flip phones were just starting to buzz in pockets. Our protagonist, let's call him Alex, to keep things anonymous like in the original Reddit post, is a hard-working dad in his mid-30 seconds, juggling a full-time job, a mortgage, and the joys of raising two young kids, ages 4 and 6. Life isn't perfect, but it's stable. He loves his family, cherishes those weekend barbecues in the backyard, and believes in the vows he took with his wife, Sarah, a part-time worker who handles most of the childcare. But lately, something's off. Alex notices the little things first. The way Sarah's eyes dart away when he asks about her day, or how she snaps at him over nothing, her voice laced with irritation that wasn't there before. The kids, bless their innocent hearts, start chattering about Grandma and Grandpa's house more than usual. "We went there again today, Daddy. We played in the garden," they'd say, their tiny faces lighting up. It wouldn't be weird if her parents lived nearby, but they're a solid 90-minute drive away, 2 or 3 times a week. That's not just a visit, that's a pattern. Alex's chest tightens every time he hears it. He's not the paranoid type, but doubt creeps in like fog rolling over a lake at dawn. Why so often? He thinks, lying awake at night, staring at the ceiling fan, whirring above their bed. Sarah's breathing is steady beside him, but it feels like a stranger's. When he finally confronts her one evening over dinner, the kids tucked in bed, the kitchen still smelling of spaghetti sauce, she brushes it off. "You're imagining things, Alex." The kids are exaggerating, but her cheeks flush, her hands fidget with the napkin, twisting it into knots. She's always been a terrible liar. Her eyes can't hold his gaze. That doubt turns to suspicion, gnawing at him like a persistent itch. He starts checking the mileage on her car, a subtle thing, jotting down the odometer reading before work. Sure enough, it's racking up an extra 400 miles a week. That's not errands, that's secrets. His heart races every time he sees the numbers climb, a mix of anger and fear bubbling up. What if it's true? What about the kids? His mind spirals into worst-case scenarios, broken homes, custody battles, the same chaos that tore apart his own childhood when his parents cheated on each other. He remembers the yelling, the slammed doors, the way he and his siblings huddled together, whispering promises to never let that happen to their own families. No, he won't let history repeat. Then, fate hands him the key. Literally. One afternoon, he sits down at the family computer, the bulky monitor humming to life, and spots a sticky note beside the keyboard. Sarah's AOL password, scrawled in her hasty handwriting. His pulse quickens. Temptation pulls at him like gravity. "Should I?" he whispers to himself, fingers hovering over the keys. But the betrayal's weight is too heavy. He logs in. What he finds shatters him. Emails to her college best friend, spilling everything. "Oh my God, it's so exciting with Jake again," one reads, referencing her high school ex-boyfriend. "We meet up a couple times a week. Lunch, then, you know." She even mocks Jake's wife. She's let herself go after those kids, all frumpy and fat. No wonder he needs this. Alex's vision blurs with rage and hurt, his hands shaking as he prints the exchanges, the printer's whir echoing his pounding heart. He stashes them in a drawer, hidden under old tax forms, but the words burn into his memory. Betrayal isn't just a word anymore. It's a knife twisting in his gut, making every breath feel labored. He needs proof, irrefutable, cold, hard evidence. A cop friend points him to Ron, a former detective turned private investigator. Alex meets him in a dimly lit coffee shop, the steam from their mugs rising like ghosts. "I need to know everything," Alex says, voice low, sliding over the emails. Ron nods, his eyes sharp. For a retainer fee, he dives in. Weeks later, Ron's report arrives. A thick envelope that feels like a bomb in Alex's hands. Photos, timestamps, locations. Sarah drops the kids at her parents', meets Jake for lunch at a greasy diner, then heads to a rundown motel with peeling paint and flickering neon signs. The images show them laughing, touching hands across the table, then disappearing into a room. Alex stares at them in his car, parked in an empty lot, tears streaming down his face. His fists clench the steering wheel until his knuckles turn white. How could she? The pain is raw, a hollow ache in his chest, mixed with fury that makes his blood boil. This is it, the breaking point. He hires a divorce lawyer that same day, the office smelling of leather and old files. No reconciliation. Alex insists, his voice steady despite the storm inside. This ends now. But revenge simmers beneath the surface. He asks Ron for more. Dig into Jake. Who is this guy destroying two families? Ron delivers gold. Jake, or Bob in the original post, is a VP of sales at his father-in-law's company, married with 3 kids, living in a house owned by his in-laws. Arrogant, entitled, the kind of man who thinks rules don't apply to him. Alex imagines him smirking, whispering sweet nothings to Sarah while mocking his own wife behind her back. It fuels the fire. He thinks he can wreck my life without consequences? Alex thinks, pacing his living room late at night, the house silent except for the tick of the clock. The plan forms like a storm cloud gathering. Divorce papers for Sarah, drawn out meticulously. Extra copies of Ron's report. And one final task for Ron. Deliver the truth to Jake's wife. She deserves to know, Alex rationalizes. But deep down, it's justice. Eye for an eye. Climactic revenge payoff. The day arrives like a thunderclap. Sarah's served at work, papers slapped into her hands in front of colleagues, her face draining of color as she reads them, stammering excuses to her boss. But that's just the appetizer. Simultaneously, Ron meets Jake's wife at a neutral park bench, the autumn leaves crunching underfoot. He hands her the report, photos spilling out like poison. Her eyes widen, hands trembling as she flips through. The lunches, the motel romps, the betrayal laid bare. What follows is chaos, sweet and satisfying. Jake's world implodes. His wife cleans out their joint accounts, packs the kids, and vanishes to her parents. Her dad, furious at the betrayal, fires Jake on the spot. No severance, no mercy. The house? Evicted. Locks changed overnight. Court documents, publicly available, paint a picture of hell. Ugly divorce hearings, screaming matches. One night, Jake shows up pounding on the door, red-faced and yelling. His wife's brother steps in. Fists fly. Jake's nose cracks with a sickening crunch, blood spraying. Restraining orders follow. Police reports pile up. Criminal charges for harassment and assault. Jail time looms. His life unraveling, thread by thread. Alex watches from afar, a quiet triumph swelling in his chest. No direct confrontation, but the satisfaction immense. Jake's smug empire crumbles to dust, while Alex rebuilds his own life, free from the lies. Reflective wrap-up. Stories like this remind us that karma isn't always swift, but when it hits, it's poetic. Betrayal cuts deep, but standing up for yourself, delivering justice without stooping to their level, that's true power. What do you think? Was this revenge too far, or just right. If this tale of epic payback had you fist pumping or wiping away a tear, smash that like button and drop a comment below. What's the most brutal revenge you've seen or pulled off? Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications for more Reddit stories that deliver that sweet, satisfying justice. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.